So we have this concept of body, and body is the bulk or the payload of the information type. It's where all the paragraphs are. It's where the bulk of the information that's delivered is. So now we have the question of how do we structure that body so that it can A, be very variable and have all the different possibilities that we want to have in that, and B, still stay structured, still stay valid, still be part of an XML model or a schema model. So the way we do that, or the way we're going to do that anyway in this class, is by using a group. And a group, as I've said in other places, is a set of elements that you can use over and over again. And so if you look on your screen here, you'll see a box that says block. Block, as you'll hopefully also remember, the term block means elements or items that we want to have space before and after to the right and the left, that form blocks on the page. So those block elements are the ones that we are going to be sort of paragraph level elements, the elements that we want to form the major blocks of text on the screen. And the first thing we're going to do is all of the different elements that we want to be part of the block world, that we want to have the space before and after, etc. We're going to group all together under a group called block. So all of our block elements will be in the block group. And that blue box that you see on the screen that says block on the top, that's what that means. We've taken a set of elements and we've put them all into the block group. Now, the way the block group itself is structured is as a choice. So you have a choice when you're using that block set of elements, that block group, you have a choice of any of these elements. Another significant thing about it is that the block group itself is required and unbounded. That means you can make from one to as many as you want choices of any of those elements. So think about that. And I think as you do, you'll see that it will allow you to do exactly what we want to do. Inside of, in this case, it's a description, but it can be any word we want. Maybe it's the introduction, maybe it's description, maybe it's notes, whatever it is we want to call that element. Inside that element, you get between 1 and an unbounded number of choices between all the elements that are in the block group there. And so we can have PPPP, we can have PUL, 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 we can have POL, UL, PUL, OL, etc. All of those elements can be mixed and matched as much as we want. And that gives us the behavior exactly that we're looking for. The behavior is the ability to mix and match any of the elements that we want to have in our payload, in our body, and have as many of them as we want in any order that we want. And so this model right here will allow you to do that. And the example instance that you see on the screen also illustrates that. We have a set of P's followed by UL. We could put ULs after that. Notice, by the way, that the UL inside the UL is another thing entirely. We're talking right now about the elements that are direct children of the description. And what happens inside any of those child elements is really up to the definition of the child element, not up to the definition of the block. So block says we can have as many children of description as we want. They could be mixed and matched from any of these elements, P, U, L, O, L, B, R, etc. That's a block model. So to review, the block model has three significant things that you need to understand and think about. One is the idea of a group. We have the block group. And that block group associates all of those elements together so that we can take them as a group. They're the block group. And we can apply them not only to a description tag, we can apply them to an intro tag, we can apply them to any tag we want. They move as an entire unit, as a group. That's concept number one. Concept number two is that they're organized, those elements in that group are organized as a choice. So you can continually choose from one to the next time which one to use. The final thing is the required to unbounded nature of the group. We apply required to unbounded to the group itself so that you get any number of choices among those elements. That's the block model, and you've already seen how the inline model works, and now you can put those two together and see that the block model serves the purpose of giving us all the choices for paragraph level elements, for block level elements, and then some of those block level elements, P for example, have a further inline model that allows us to mix and match between text nodes and child elements of that P. So all in all, we have a very sophisticated, very flexible body model that includes the block elements, and the block elements in turn include the inline elements. And between the block and the inline elements, we have a tremendous amount of flexibility. However, inside that flexibility, we still have constraint, we still have requiredness, we still have validity, and we can say that we have structured information, but it's also highly variable information.